Okay, I think we have everything set up. Drinks, food, and especially snacks. I even made sure to get all your favorites, because hey, that's what best friends do, right? I can see you've already eaten half of them. I've got even more downstairs in the snack cupboard, by the way. You know where it is. You've been over to my house like 1,000,000 times. Anyway, now our sleepover can finally begin. So, before we watch a movie and snuggle or something, I mean, hey, if you're up to it, that is. You know, just as best friends snuggling. But anyway, what I'm getting at here is, I was wondering if you could help me out with something first? See, I've been writing this story, right? And I was wondering if you could sort of give me your feedback, you know? Well, it's still in the early stages. It's more an outline, really. But anyway, I was thinking I could quickly run you through the main points and you could tell me your thoughts. Would that be all right with you? Great, that's great. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, so, where do I begin? Well, first of all, I guess I should give you the main character. So, she's this girl with hair just like mine. I mean the color. And she lives in a house just like this one. Well, not exactly like this one, but a lot like this one, you know, write what you know. And, she has this friend of hers with eyes that are, well, they're just like yours. And this friend, in fact, well, she loves them very, very much. Much more than just a friend. But the friend is very dense and never seems to realize it. In fact, the friend seems to be kind of slow to read between the lines just in general. Okay, so what do you think of my character so far? Nothing's wrong with her so far, right? Right. Nothing is wrong with her. Perfectly normal. She didn't do anything wrong. Anyway, so this girl is madly in love with her friend. I'm talking about 200% crazy, head over heels, absolutely nuts in love. Her friend is making her lose her marbles. But, I mean, hey, hopefully that's not the only thing they'll make her lose. But it's really difficult when the friend is so dense. Anyway, so the girl really loves her friend, but she can't confess. Because what if she gets rejected? She could never take that. It would ruin the friendship. And that's maybe the one real emotional connection she has. Everything else feels so lifeless and fake to her. So she really doesn't have the heart to confess directly. There's too much to lose. So she tries to sort of, you know, feel things out, if you get what I'm saying. She tries to make little illusions here and there, trying to test her friend's reaction, seeing if it's okay to confess. Sometimes she even flirts in a sort of indirect way, but of course her friend is hopelessly thick, so this sort of method never really works for her. She even asks to snuggle a lot, and when she gets to, she always makes these flirty remarks like, "Oh, you're so good at snuggling. I wish I was the girlfriend of someone who snuggles like you," or something like that. The friend still doesn't get it, of course. The girl does everything. She even always makes sure to keep all of the friend's favorite snacks in her cupboard. But, of course, the significance of this goes unnoticed. Okay, so, now what do you think of her so far? Right? So far, so good. She didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with her. Trying to be indirect and test the waters, it just makes sense, right? Nothing wrong with her trying to protect her relationship and her happiness. If anything, the friend should have really noticed her feelings. Am I right? But I'm still not done. Let me get on with the story. So, this girl, she just really can't get enough of her friend. She wants to be romantic with them. She wishes they were a couple. But she just can't seize that dream. So she fantasizes a little bit. You know, innocent little fantasies. Everyone has them about their crush, right? She does too. Innocent little fantasies like holding hands with them, hugging them, getting married to them. Eventually, she plays The Sims, and she makes a sim based on her and a sim based on her crush, and she makes them become friends and flirt and eventually get into a relationship together. First something casual, and then they get married, and then they have kids and they grow old together, and she spends entirely too much time trying to figure out the names for their future kids. I mean, The Sims, kids and grandkids, and anyway, that's fine, that's normal. People make sims based on their friends all the time. But even that's not enough. She wants to bring that fantasy a little more into reality, so she takes a photo she has of her friend and her friend together, and then she edits it a bit to make it look like a wedding photo, wedding dress and all. And it makes her so happy to finally have a bit of reality to her fantasy. You know, something tangible. She looks at that photo every day, every night. She makes it her phone background. She frames a copy and even sleeps next to it. It's the one thing that gives her peace of mind when she's usually always such an insomniac from not getting her happily ever after. But she can't be satisfied with that. Not with just a photo. It's still missing something. Her fantasy just still isn't physical enough. She thinks of all the times she snuggles her friend, and how lovely it would be to feel like that even if they weren't around to snuggle. So she thinks about her friend's sweater, and how if she wore that, it'd sort of feel like she was snuggling them. And she needs that. She needs that very much. So one day, when her friend isn't paying attention, she ever so deftly swipes the sweater and replaces it with an identical one. She gets away with it completely. She keeps a straight face the entire day. She smiles at her friend as usual. She laughs with them as usual. They don't suspect a thing. And she loves the sweater. She treasures it and cherishes it and goes to sleep wearing it every night, pretending like it is her friend all around her, not just a sweater. And I would ask you what you think about her right now, but I already know the answer. It's fine. She's fine. She didn't do anything wrong. She's just acting out of love. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with loving her friend, who has your eye color, who has your hair color, who happens to love the exact same snacks as you. There's nothing wrong with the main character being a little romantic. But it's because she's so romantic that she can't just settle down. She can't be happy with just a sweater. As great as it is, it's still just a sweater, you know? It's not as great as the real thing, and she's just torn apart that she can't spend more time with her friend. Every second that she's away from them, it's just eating away at her insides little by little all the time, and she just can't take it anymore. She wants to spend every waking second with them, but obviously that's not possible. So she starts watching her friend. It starts with tracking their movements online and keeping an eye on all their different accounts, and then it moves into just watching them from behind the bushes or maybe from behind a car or something. And she wakes up smiling every day knowing that today she can watch her friend again. Then after a while, she gets an idea. She sets up cameras, very, very hidden cameras. The kind you wouldn't notice. I mean, the kind the friend wouldn't notice. She sets them up all over the places that her friend frequents, and of course she especially makes sure to set up plenty in their room. So now she can watch them all the time. They probably wouldn't let her sleep over every day, right? That would be unreasonable. But now she can watch her friend fall asleep every single day. It's almost like they're a couple. But they're not. They're not a couple. She's a great character, right? Really complex and interesting. You don't have anything to say because I already know. She's fine. She's fine. She didn't do anything wrong. But, like I was saying, they're not a couple. And in a way, watching her friend all the time through her cameras makes her extremely aware of that. Because, yes, she can see all the things her friend does, but that also shows her all the attention they get from other people. And she just feels so neglected. When she sees them sharing meals with others, she thinks that should be me sharing that meal with them. When she sees them laughing and joking with others, she thinks that should be me. And when she sees them talking to others, she thinks that should be me. And as she tries to keep it together, well, of course she tries. She never does anything wrong. She tries to bury her feelings deep down within her heart because she doesn't want to hurt all those people coming in between her and her friend. Even though she might. She doesn't want to be destructive or harmful or, especially not around her sweetheart. But there's no way to keep a burden like this all inside, right? Her jealousy, her resentment towards the feelings of neglect, they all get a bit more heated day after day until inevitably the entire thing just boils over. So she invites her friend over to a sleepover. Just like this one, in fact. And the one thing she wants more than anything is to just be accepted. But it's so hard to even ask for that. If she tries to be direct, she just stutters like a bumbling idiot, and so she confesses about her feelings. She confesses about all the things she did, all the perfectly understandable, normal, fine things she did. But she does it in a very indirect way. She confesses as if it were a character in her story that felt and did all those things, not her. But she's worried. She's still so worried. What if she isn't accepted? What if her friend tries to run away? So she has a backup plan. She has some rope that she keeps under her bed. It looks just like my bed right here. And she drugged the snacks that her friend ate earlier. You know, the same kind of snack you helped yourself to just now. That way they can't get away, even if they wanted to. But why would they want to? She didn't do anything wrong, right? Don't you think so too? So, what do you think the friend will do now, The friend who's drugged? The friend who can't get away? Are you going to try and leave?